Dad told everyone I'd never be anything. Then my face appeared on the billboard outside his office. Dad looked straight at me and said into the microphone, "Some people just don't have what it takes." Everyone turned to look at me. My world stopped. And that was only the beginning, because what he did next hurt even deeper. My name is Mason. I always thought my dad believed in me. Growing up, he told everyone I would take over his company one day. I worked hard for it. I studied business, I stayed late at the office, and I learned every part of the company from the bottom up. So when he planned a big company event, I really thought it was for me. He even told me, "Mason, get ready. The senior director role is yours." That night, I wore my best suit. My mom smiled at me. Even the employees were happy because they knew how long I had been working for this. But everything went wrong. When Dad stepped onto the stage, he didn't call my name. He called someone else, my stepbrother, Tyler. The whole room clapped. My father smiled like everything was normal. I just stood there frozen, feeling like the floor had disappeared under me. When the event ended, I tried to talk to Dad. I needed to understand why he did that. But he didn't even wait for me. He just walked past me like I was one of the waiters. I followed him toward the back hallway. "Dad, why did you do that? You promised." He stopped, turned around, and said loudly enough for 2 employees to hear, "You're not ready for anything important, Mason. I can't risk the company on someone so ordinary. Ordinary. After all the work I've done." Then he added something worse. "Investors think you look too young and inexperienced. Tyler looks successful. He looks sharp. He has a presence." I gave him the role because the company needs someone who looks like a leader. Felt like someone punched me in the chest. This wasn't about my skills. It was about my appearance. I tried to speak, but he cut me off again. "And from now on, don't bring your ideas to me. Focus on small tasks. That's more your level." He walked away. I stood there shaking, angry, embarrassed, and hurt. And then, an email hit my phone. One that changed everything. Someone had stolen my idea. The email was from a coworker. "Hey man, congrats on the new campaign, even if your dad gave Tyler the credit." My stomach twisted. I opened the attached file. It was my project. The marketing plan I had spent 3 months on. The plan my dad said wasn't good enough. The plan he told me to throw away. But my stepbrother Tyler had presented it at the event as his own. My dad stood on stage bragging about Tyler's creativity and fresh ideas. And the whole time it was my plan. Every word, every graph, every design, I created it. I walked outside the building trying to breathe. My chest hurt from anger. The cold air didn't help. I felt small, stupid, and betrayed. Everything I worked for had just been handed to someone else. And the worst part? My dad planned it. I knew then that I couldn't stay under him anymore. But I had no idea that the next step I took would lead me to the biggest revenge of my life. Because the idea Tyler stole? It wasn't just a campaign. It was something the whole world was about to see. I didn't go home that night. I drove around the city, angry tears blurring my vision. I didn't know where I was going, but I ended up in front of a giant billboard on Main Street. It was empty, a blank canvas, waiting for something. And a crazy thought came to me. What if I didn't need my father's company at all? What if I took my ideas somewhere else, somewhere they would be valued? I had always been good at marketing. I had helped small businesses grow using social media ads and creative visuals. I didn't have money, but I had talent. That night, I made a decision. I quit my dad's company. When I sent the resignation email, I expected a shocked reply. But all I got was, "Return your badge. Good luck with whatever you think you can do." I knew then, he didn't just doubt me. He wanted me to fail. Fine. If he wanted me gone, then I would go somewhere he could never ignore. And that was when a stranger approached me the next morning and said something that lit the fire inside me even hotter. "Are you Mason Hayes? I've been looking for you." The man introduced himself as Leo Sanders, a talent scout for a fast-growing marketing agency downtown. "I've seen your work," he said. "Your ideas are raw but powerful. We want someone like you." I blinked at him. "How did you find me?" He smiled. "Your father's company posted Tyler's presentation online. I traced the design style. It's not his. It's yours. Someone finally noticed. Someone saw the truth. Leo leaned closer. If you come with us, you can create campaigns your way. No limits. And we'll pay you what you're worth. Felt unreal. Like the universe threw me a lifeline at the exact moment I needed it. I joined his agency the next day. And from that moment, everything took off fast. Faster than I ever imagined. But I didn't know something important yet. My dad had big plans tied to the project he stole from me. And soon, our paths would crash again in the loudest, most embarrassing way possible for him. Because the next campaign I created, the one the whole city would see, it had my face on it. And it was going right outside his office. Working with Leo's agency felt like stepping into a new world. People actually listened when I talked. They didn't treat me like I was small or invisible. I shared an idea during my first team meeting, expecting to be ignored like usual. But everyone leaned in. They asked questions. They took notes. I wasn't used to any of that. Leo said, "Mason, your style is bold. People will remember you. That's what sells." For the first time in a long while, I felt hopeful. Like maybe I wasn't the ordinary person my father said I was. I poured myself into a new campaign for a local clothing brand. Bright colors, strong messages, and confidence. Something the younger generation would connect with. When we launched it, the numbers exploded within days. Sales tripled. Social media posts went viral. Everyone asked who created this. And suddenly my name, not Tyler's, not my dad's, was on everyone's lips. The brand asked me to be the face of their next campaign. They wanted my picture, my name, my message, on a giant billboard in the city. It was the biggest break of my life. But someone else saw the news too. My father. Later that night, my phone buzzed with a number I knew by heart. My father's. I stared at it for a long time, thinking he might congratulate me or at least say something human. But when I picked up, his voice was cold. "So, you're running around making childish ads now?" I stayed quiet. He continued, "You need to stop using your name publicly. People might think you still represent my company. I won't have you embarrassing us." Embarrassing him? He was the one who humiliated me in front of hundreds of people. I finally spoke. "I'm not your employee anymore. You don't control me." He snorted. "You'll see how far you get without me. This little hobby of yours won't last." My chest tightened. He still didn't believe in me. He never would. But then he said something that made my stomach twist. "And that billboard campaign you're doing? Don't get excited. My company bought 2 boards on that street already. Yours won't matter." He hung up. I stared at the phone, angry and shaking. Why was he so afraid of my success? Then Leo rushed into my office holding a tablet. "Mason, you need to see this." My father had made a move. On Leo's tablet was a press release from my father's company. They were launching a massive new city campaign, using the same style as the idea Tyler stole from me. Same colors, same theme, same concept, even some of the same lines I wrote. I felt sick. "They're trying to drown out your billboard," Leo said. "If they launch first, people might think you copied them." That was the plan. My father wasn't just trying to beat me. He was trying to erase me. But then Leo showed me our billboard preview. My whole chest warmed. I stood there, staring at my own face. Confident, bold, strong. The text under it read, "Be more than they said you could be. Mason Hayes." The message hit hard because it was real. It was my story. And then Leo smiled. "We moved up the launch. Your billboard goes live tomorrow morning." My heart pounded. Tomorrow. The big moment. But that night, something strange happened. A reporter emailed me with a question that froze me in place. "Is it true your father tried to block your billboard from going up?" How did she know? And worse, what else did she know? The next morning, I met the reporter, a woman named Claire, at a small coffee shop. She looked serious, like she already knew half the story. She leaned forward and said softly, "I know your father humiliated you at the company event." I froze. "How did you?" "Several employees reached out," she said. "People are tired of how he treats his staff. And his family." My heart raced. People from his own company were speaking about him? She continued, I also know Tyler presented your stolen project. And now your father is trying to bury your work before your billboard goes up. I felt anger rush through me all over again. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Claire sat back. Because the public loves an underdog. And right now, you're the one people are rooting for. If you tell your side of the story, it could change everything. But sharing the truth could also destroy my father's company. It would ruin him. And maybe, part of me wanted that. While I was thinking, Claire added one more thing. Mason, your father's new big campaign isn't going well. Some investors are already questioning his decisions. I leaned in. What do you mean? She took a deep breath. There's a leak in his company. And they're giving information to the press. My mind raced. Someone inside my father's company was leaking information. And not just small things, big things. Things investors would panic about. Claire slid her phone toward me. These messages came from an anonymous employee. Whoever they are, they want you to win. I scrolled through the screenshots. They showed proof that Tyler didn't create the project. Emails where my dad called me useless and a risk. Plans to buy billboards to block my campaign. Meetings where investors complained about the company's falling numbers. This was huge. If any of this went public, it could destroy everything my father built. Claire looked at me. Mason, people want the truth. But I won't move unless you say yes. I felt torn. I didn't want to ruin anyone's life. But my father had already ruined parts of mine. He tried to crush my name, my future, my confidence. Maybe it was time to stop being scared. Maybe it was time to let the truth speak. I took a deep breath and said, okay, tell the story. Claire nodded. But before she left, she whispered, you might want to get ready. When your billboard goes live tomorrow, everything will explode. Watch out for part 2.